Watch! All right.
Oh shit.
We are here, and I'm still getting sound from somewhere. There it is. All right. Hey everybody, welcome to the second watch. It's already crazy. Things are going off the rails, but that's okay. We have an exciting episode tonight, show tonight. The brainchild of Gary, actually, like a couple months ago, he's like, we should do a digging for gold Shadowdark thing because there's a lot of stuff out there. We know some people who are making things. We're encountering a bunch of stuff.
A little behind the scenes here. Every once in a while, there's this message that goes out. It's on a private part of the Discord server where just me, Matt, and for some reason DM Cloaker, he can see it too. And Matt says, we need show ideas. And
this is a true story.
It is a true story. Anyway, so I was actually looking for third-party Shadowdark stuff and trying to find a way to sort of, there's a lot of it out there. And I wanted to separate the crap from the good stuff as much as possible. So we got some friends together who actually produce some pretty good Shadowdark stuff themselves.
Or they've been running it, playing it, reviewing it,
or they tell us anyway. They said it's pretty good.
Yeah. So that's what we're gonna do tonight, and feel free to make recommendations in chat and whatnot because I still think Shadowdark is going to be a contender for the next couple of years. We really honestly have to see what happens with the Northern Reaches and whatnot, but there's a lot of stuff out there. So because our good friend FOXXofRPG is I think on a lunch break because he's across the pond, we don't want to keep him, and I want to be respectful of his time. So we're going to let him kind of go first. And then after that, we'll do this like round robin thing. So, before we even get started, everyone here has their own YouTube channels. The links to those channels are down in the description. Please hit, you're the second watch, Gary. You're fine. You're good. But I'm talking about Erudite, Fox, Flint. Go to their channels. Please hit like, subscribe, bell icon, the whole nine over there. And while you're doing that, do that for me because Lord knows I need subscribers. Anyway, real quick, we got a $2 super chat from Ultra American TTRPG. It's good to see you, buddy. Who's the four-eyed Englishman joining us tonight?
Oh,
he's not English. I think those are fighting words.
It's an in-group thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess punishment.
Fuck the English, man. No, I'm just kidding. They're fine. They're fine. They started the language we speak. I'm good. Whatever. Well, what do you like, FOXXof? What have you seen out there? If I came to you and I said, I need some new Shadowdark stuff.
Yeah, well, first thing I'd say is what you want. Do you want adventures or do you want settings? Because I got both, bro.
Lay it on me.
I'm a settings guy.
Okay,
I'm an adventures guy.
The first setting I would definitely choose is Moria the Dark Age. Moria the Dark Age is my favorite setting for Shadowdark. It's like a silver and iron, mud and blood world. Everything's grim, everything's dark. It does have its own setup, like some of the races and stuff that's in here are a little different than the core Shadowdark. Things are going to be a little more difficult as well. So when you talk like your weapons, for example, you're going to be limited on the damage that some of the weapons will do. You're also not going to have as many magical items. They're going to be more rare. It's kind of like if you took a bit of Celtic mythology, mixed it in with the European continent, mixing a few other generic fancy stuff in there. With a bit of medieval, you're going to get this really rich, in-depth world. The book itself, when you get the PDF or physical copy, you'll get this big map, and it's divided up into different regions. There's different maps for it. It's brilliant. It's absolutely my favorite setting book to go for.
When you say it's blood and iron, gritty, I mean, are you talking like well, so frame of reference, Lamentations of the Flame Princess. James Raggi says he placed his game in the 1600s because, and I'm quoting him here, it was the worst time to be alive. Is that what you mean? Is it's like something like that, like where
it's further back in time? If it would be placed in time, it would probably be I don't know, maybe 700 years before that, maybe earlier. So it's much more primitive in that sense. It's much. I don't want to say it's much more darker, but the world itself is dark. When you go out into the wilderness and in the wild, there's very few spots where it's safe. So pretty much everywhere. You know how they have the risk factor, Shadowdark?
Yeah.
Pretty much everywhere is risky, except for a handful of places that are going to be like quote safe spots. A safe.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's.
I remember seeing that advertised. I can't remember if it was like a Kickstarter or just something on like for drive-through or something. And I thought to myself, oh, I don't know about this. But you've obviously taken a look at it. Are there like new classes in it? I know you mentioned new races, ancestries, but are there new classes that you get?
Yeah, there's a bunch of new classes. Some of the classes are similar to the core rulebook, but they've changed things to fit the setting. There's a few things like that. Again, there's a bunch of new monsters. I think in terms of classes, I think there's 6 or 7 new classes.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, monsters. There's about 40 or 50 new monsters and creatures. I do think it's a little more deadly than the core Shadowdark game itself. So if you want to up your difficulty a little bit, you can. Plus, you have this great vibe. You know yourself with any setting, half of it is much of the vibe and the feel you get from anything than it is like anything that's written down. But it's I think that's probably my favorite. It's just dark, it's gritty, it forces you to survive every step you take in the world, which I like.
Oh, I like that too.
Maybe I'm
that
just demented and evil to myself.
You may have just sold that to me because I've been looking, as we sort of said, the premise of the show, and I'm just like, I don't know about this, I don't know about that, because there's some stuff I have that I've spent some money on. I'm not going to mention tonight because I don't think it's great. It's fine. Like I'll find ways to slot it in. It's got some use, but I feel like everyone and their brother and cousin's former roommate is trying to make Shadowdark stuff, and when I was first reading Fomori, I was like, I don't know about this, but I'm glad I'm actually talking to you about it because that's really interesting. One more, this is like really important to me when it comes to setting. Is there anything that it presents in terms of added rules that have a direct impact on the setting or are derived from the setting that help, I guess, make that vibe a mechanical reality?
There are a few optional rules in there. I'm trying to think. I haven't played with it in a little while, doing the channel, so if we end up doing too much. But there is a few optional rules in there. It's everything is also silver based, so things are much more harder to get and more expensive. Let me think.
Silver based. I'm wondering if these authors played Lamentations.
Sometimes I think they might. It is quite popular, and I think people don't like to say they played it or not, which I think is stupid.
Sure.
Where
can you get this?
It is print on demand, so you're gonna get it through drive-through.
Okay.
It was a Kickstarter, so you can get PDF or POD. Really.
Cool.
So yeah.
Fomori. All right. Well, you've piqued my interest. Like I said, this was something I kind of passed over. Well, and by pass over, I want to be fair. I thought about it, but I'm like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. But now I'm like, okay, maybe I should look at it. So,
well, if you're a little bit demented and you like to torture yourself, it's definitely that sort of world. Yeah.
That I have an entire shelf dedicated to Lamentations of the Flame Princess. It's not that I like torturing myself; I like torturing my players. So if I could do that with
that
this,
kind of sadistic. There you go. Do you want me to do another one?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, go right ahead.
Would you like an adventure or another setting? I have 2 settings in total.
I wanted an adventure, but just so everybody, excuse me, we're giving Fox off a little bit of time here. because he is on his lunch break or something like that. That's why he's not
Yeah.
drinking, whatever. So we're gonna give him a little bit of time in case he's got to go.
Have an energy drink.
Awesome.
That's keeping me alive right now.
So give us one more. I tell you what, your choice overall, your favorite, best, whatever it is, and then we'll go into the round robinish kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
what do you think is your overall favorite of the third party?
in terms of adventures, probably my favorite would be Righteous Vow series, particularly Righteous Vow Volume 1. Mainly because Volume 1, it's great for teaching new players how to play the game, which is something you don't find in a lot of adventures. They kind of assume you kind of know what you're doing. You know, you've probably played a bunch of adventures before. Um, so the whole premise of this is you're going to enter into a bar or tavern, whatever. Then you're going to be given a quest, or you come across a quest dealer. He's going to give you a map, and the whole adventure is about you tracking down this, the big bad, and so it gives you a bunch of different locations of strongholds. You can go straight to where the bad guy is, or you think he is. You're not really 100% sure. Sure, you get there, then you get your ass kicked. You might get eaten by the big bad and big monsters. But there is some MacGuffins in here, so it's going to teach the players. Not everything you're going to come across is going to be necessarily good. You might have some cursed items in here. It's definitely a great tool for teaching new players. That's the main reason I put it in here. Again, you have your strongholds. There's going to be some random generation of stuff with strongholds as well. Some of these strongholds will have larger maps, which will then lead to other items you're going to need to then beat the big bad, or at least help with it. It is like a hex crawl, essentially, with different spots throughout the place. It's fairly straightforward and simple, but again, it is a great tool for teaching. And I think it's good to have more stuff like that, because again, you're always trying to get people to come into the hobby. Because you can play with the same guys for 20 years, and then maybe they just can't do anymore. They have family stuff. So you want new people in all the time anyway, just to play with, get different points of view. And, people play different ways. Some people might be silly, do wacky things, or super serious time. But yeah, I think that is a good way to go. Righteous Vow.
Yeah. All right. So, when I brought this up, I knew that Aerodite did some stuff, Flint did some stuff. Obviously, we have a really good friend, Chubby, you can't go to drive-through and type in Shadowdark without seeing something of his. But we just wanted to reach out further and see what else is there that we could all find. And I am curious, Erudite DM. Personally, I like the Shadowdark thing you did with the titles. Or no, it wasn't the titles. That's what Flint did.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do jousting? No, that's what that other guy did. I like something you did.
No, he did the Warhorses
Erudite,
one.
what's
He
your
did the
what's
Warhorses
your,
one.
There you go, Warhorses. All right. Erudite, I'm just fucking with you, man. Give me one. Let's do one. Tell me about it.
Well, Kieran knows them because he was nice enough to have me on his channel and talk about them. But look, I'm nowhere near as prolific as Flint is, or certainly Chubby and other people who write a lot. Saw Tim Shorts there, Gothridge Manor, in the chat. Hey, Tim. But I wrote 2 pieces when I started looking at Shadowdark, and I was playing solo dark, and I was writing some things I wanted to play. I look at history a lot and try to weave that into the game. So I looked heavily at the medieval period, particularly France and England and Scotland and Ireland and so forth. So I wrote one called Warhorse, is the first one. And by the way, special shout out for layout help for the POD. Goes to Better with Bacon. He helped me out immensely, and I'm waiting to get the final proof of I don't know if Disco Barbarian's on here or not, but that guy was like, I can't wait to get these, but I'm waiting until you get them POD. So they are finally coming. But the first one, Warhorse, is more of a setting that somebody wants to play more of a classic knight, kind of like I found out in Hyperborea, which we're playing on Monday nights now, and I'm playing a Cataphract. It is this is a warrior who's grown up in around horses and the martial life, and a sense of ethics and a code of chivalry to some degree. Although mine is not an Arthurian thing, because I was looking at the 100 Years' War and all that puffery about, Order of the Garter and all that bullshit. That no, these guys are just vicious killers with better armor and better weapons, and a squire and pages and people to take care of their horses and things. So if you're interested in adding horses into travel, adding some jousting rules that are simple, and I say simple in the way that Shadowdark is simple. I put them all on one page. I wasn't trying to create a whole nother game. If you want that, let's talk to Travis Fowler, and we'll get on one night and we'll play his jousting game, which is a lot of fun. But yeah, so jousting, war horses, travel in general with mules and so forth. But what about the different kind of horses? Because horses don't come in one flavor. Oh, look, there it is. They're not all the same thing. So there are stats for coursers and for rounceys and for ponies and whatever they may be. And then there's there's a lot of tables. This is about 50 pages. And a portion of that is what I intended to be a one-shot. I don't know if anybody here played it. I think, Paul, maybe you, Flint probably played it with us, but it's called The Horse Lord of Tanashorn. And it's a very a horse adventure, and I introduced some new monsters there. So it's about 50 pages. That's Warhorse. The second one was Saints of Shadowdark, or just Saints, as I call it, and it has a heavy church vibe of what the monasteries may look like, what the religious orders may look like, and it gives you more saints. I was really bought in on Shadowdark when I saw what Kelsey did with Saint Taragnus, right? And now I'm not going to remember all the names, but all the other saints that she kind of hinted at and introduced into the religion and the deities of the game. So I wrote up a bunch more saints, some that are chaotic, some that are lawful, some that are neutral, and you can find those in Saints. But it has a very Middle Ages Catholic churchy vibe, things about titles, but there's also spells and magic and holy relics and holy sites. A lot of, I really like what I was inspired to do all this because I was reading Chubby stuff, and I was looking at his GM's companion, his player's companion. I'm like, I like this because when I play, I was never a TSR module guy. I had some of them and I played some of them. It just wasn't my thing. I would rather homebrew, and then I would rather take influences from other areas and put them into the game. So that's what Saints is, and that's really what Warhorse is too. And it also has a one-shot in the back end of it. So those are the two that are out there, Gary. That's a long answer. Sorry.
No, it's all right. I think because I did a video on Warhorse. I don't think I actually saw your Saints thing, but Warhorse, it stuck out to me because of what. Well, actually, I'm going to pause real quick because there's been a few super chats and I want to make sure I get them. So let me just grab, actually just one. I think one of them's going to a paired channel, but we got $1 from Mercurius. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I just want to make sure you get, your props. We appreciate it. What happened here? Why did this happen? Anyway, but yeah, what I liked about what's up, Wibs? Yes, indeed. That's why you should take a look at Warhorse. What I liked about it is that it's doing something that I think designers need to start thinking about in the OSR and other OSR-like games. I've been saying this for years. If you've been following my channel, I am done with the retro clone. We have enough of them. I think the next phase of OSR and OSR-like things is settings. And Chubby, a good friend of ours, has actually said it a little bit more articulate than that. He says, crafting an experience at the gaming table. And that's really what I've always meant when I meant settings. Like, what rules are you doing that make this setting come alive? And Dark Sun has always been a great example of that. And I love the fact that you went into this medieval authentic. Hey, these are the kind of horses people would look at. And some horses are more valuable than others. You now have, if you come across, if you're using Warhorse in your game, you could come across some I don't know, wandering knights or brigands or whatever, and they have some horses. Well, now the players might even ask the question, well, what kind of horses are they? Because that might be more profitable to capture the horses and sell them. You know what I mean? So I love that aspect of it. And I think it's really smart to add an adventure or something to the zine because, and vice versa, rules to take to the table that go beyond the adventure, because adventures tend to be one and done, as Grim Jim likes to say, if anybody ever watched his channel back in the day. So it's Warhorse definitely has some interesting things to it, and I have a video on it, so you can go search my channel and watch it. So anyway, that's my comment on Warhorse. So nicely done. I love it.
Before you started talking about Warhorse, you mentioned Travis Farber's jousting game, and I have to say, last year at North Texas, I won the championship for that. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing.
I'm just kidding.
I did. I won. I beat everybody, and I know that Travis, he wanted to have a thing this year, and I need everybody to understand. I have over 3,000 unopened emails at any given time because I don't care. And chances are, if I'm looking for an important email, I'm going to delete everything and not see anybody's email because I don't like it. So come to find out, I had been invited. I don't even know if Travis is watching, but I think I was invited to some things because I was the champion and I didn't show up, and I'm really sorry for ruining Travis's jousting stuff. And I apologize. I'll buy you a drink in North Texas. My bad.
Oh, I need to say something quickly. So, Matt, someone told me that you got your ass handed to you by a certain Travis in a certain competition.
Dude, I had my sights on him. Like, well, actually, I didn't have my sights on him. Like, I was just hoping to get like third place, because then I could get a free book, because I really want Aerodite. I figured, why not? And then I have Buy This Axe, Alexander Macris's dwarf supplement for Axe too. And I figured, what a great combo. Like, I'll just mash them together and it'll be a great campaign. And I was like, oh, I'll do like a Wizard's Tower type of thing. And all of a sudden he's like, hey, bro, I'm going to do a Wizard's Tower. I'm like, motherfucker. So then I came up with this idea from a campaign I played a little while back. And I made a witch's, she's a hag that lives in this, basically beneath a dying tree and blah, blah, blah. I thought it was really cool. I really liked the idea. And I didn't place. And I think it's because I got a little funny with the graphics. But I did get a really nice compliment from Greg Gillespie, who said, if I'm in need of a witch and her lair, I will use this. So if you're on Facebook in the Dragon Slayer Facebook group, you can find the PDF there. I might be converting it to Shadowdark and putting it in a future zine.
Nice. So, I only said that because I actually saw Travis there the other day. He was in Dublin, so I met up with him. Had a few.
Oh, he was in Dublin. Cool.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. And like I jokingly said, when he got first place for the third 3 years in a row, I said on Facebook, I shake a mighty fist at thee. So next year I'll get him next year.
All right. Okay, moving on. Flint Fire Forge. You are, well, first off, you're dropping a lot of product. I went and looked at your page the other day. You have you're taking it. We're going to talk about this later, but you're really taking advantage of Shadowdark in the best way, I think. But when you look out there and you're looking at other products, what are your favorites? What are you seeing?
You know what? I have several here that I have chose from. I will tell you this. The first time I ever ran it, I'll go with this. The first one I ever ran is I was just looking for because it was a funnel, right? Was the Trial of the Slime Lord.
Getting that right now.
And Trial of the Slime Lord is a really, to me, this is what spoke to me about the deadliness, because at the beginning of the adventure, it's one of those deals where you wake up somewhere that you don't know where you're at or why you're there. And I ran this and just about everybody died. I think maybe there might've been one or two survivors, but everybody was playing, 3-4 characters in this. And I just thought it was the fact that you made it all about slime I thought was a fun little feature, but it has all the qualities of a really good funnel game, much like DCC, something like that. But I thought the dungeon was fun because it had to deal with slime. I thought it was deadly. I thought it was probably hit the right notes for me as the kind of game that I wanted to run. So when I first tried it out and I just played that at my local game store, it seemed like everybody was getting into it, and it was a lot of fun. So for me, I was sold on it when I ran the game. I had bought it. I had not run it yet. I had not played it yet. I said, well, I got to give this thing a try. And that's the first adventure I ran. I said, okay, yeah, I can do more of this. So Trial of the Slime Lord, and I think it's $1. If you go to
drive-through,
drive-through, it's $1. And one of the great things too is the resources that I mentioned too. A lot of VTT resources, for whatever maps, things like that. And so if you want to play it online, for $1, you can't do bad for Trial of the Slime Lord, which is a really good beginner funnel adventure.
That's cool. Did any when you ran it, was there any like what was the reaction of the players? Like, as you said, like people were dying left and right. Were they having a good time?
Yeah, they were having a good time. Yeah, they didn't mind it. It was I think all these guys came in knowing that it was. I said, look, it's fairly deadly, just to let you know. And none of these guys, I don't think any of these guys, nobody was new. I think all of them had played somewhat deadly games and things like that. I think I had a guy there playing who had played basic fantasy and things like that. So a lot of the guys there were old schoolers. So yeah, they enjoyed it. They thought it was a lot of fun. And somebody had mentioned in the thing there, that that Shadowdark now has this league, the Shadowdark League. It's kind of like for D&D, you had the Adventurers League. So now they have Shadowdark League. My hope is I'd like to go ahead and start one of those because
I'm thinking about doing that too.
My own game store did not, no lie, my own game store. I said, you guys should really start, because they'd asked me about Adventures League. I said, you really should start a Shadowdark League. Says, what's Shadowdark?
Oh my God.
My own game store. I'm like, bro, are you serious? You don't know what Shadow, but you know what?
Inexcusable.
Man. Yeah. There's 2 game stores in Rochester, and one on each side of the city. Both of them know Shadowdark, thankfully. That's why I've been like mentioning like every time. Hopefully Kelsey hears me. You got to get into distribution. Get these books in the stores. But
I'm wondering how many stores though are so kind of focused in on what they have that they really don't explore necessarily outside. They're not, a lot of them maybe don't pay attention to what's going on.
I was in there's a pretty large game store here in Austin, and that game store has multiple stores. They're like in San Antonio, and I think they're in Houston and Dallas as well. And it's a pretty large store. They make a good amount of money. Oh. And I just asked I saw a manager walking around, and I said, hey, can I ask you a question? And they said, sure. So I said, I do this stream, and I'm meeting a lot of guys who do, third-party stuff for all kinds of things. And I said, what do they have to do to get, their stuff on your shelves? And she said, go to our website and ask. There's a button right there. Email the manager. You know what I mean? It's not about getting with a big distribution company, because you got to understand these game companies, they're not plugged in. There's not like one place they go for everything. And if there are, then they're the kind of places that don't know about Shadowdark. And that's bad. Anyway.
Well, I would say this too, that this is a very Warhammer heavy store. So it would not surprise me that the only thing they're dialed into is Warhammer. Because
where is the money?
They're not focused on, they have them on the shelf. To their credit, they have Pirate Borg, at little starter sets in their store. Which shocked me a little bit that was there, and I was like, "But we don't have Shadowdark." I'm like, I was a little shocked at that, but like I said, every store is very different and what they lean into, and are not. A lot of them are not, looking. They're not consuming content. Maybe that's related to D&D, but Warhammer and other things, or Magic: The Gathering.
Yeah. So, real quick before we pass the hot potato again, what was it that you had recommended? Give the title again.
The title is called Trial of the Slime Lord.
Trial of the Slime Lord.
You get it on drive-through, and it's like I said, it's a fun little adventure
for like $1, which is really cool.
For $1, yeah.
Cool. Go ahead. At Lord Mateus, most game stores use Alliance as a distributor, which has an exclusivity agreement and doesn't allow stores to work with any of the distributors. So any other stock the store has get
that makes sense. Yeah.
Maybe. Hey, somebody asked if these are buttons or snaps on my pretty new shirt. Bitch, these are snaps, yo. Wrangler retro.
I commented on his shirt because this is the first time I've seen him in a button down.
Makes it look strong.
All my no. All my shirts are button downs. They're all button downs. It's just that it's black buttons on a black shirt. I have like 5 of the same shirt.
Oh,
I like 5 of the same black shirt, 3 of the same blue shirt, and 2 of the same green shirt. I used to have 3 of the same green shirt.
I guess this is the first time I've seen you in stripes. That's it. Yeah. Technically, I think I would be next, but you know what?
Matt,
let's hear Fox go. No, let's have Fox go.
No, you go. It's cool.
I'm going to mention a game I actually played on Erudite's channel, The Crumbling Keep of Kashmir by Tom Wilson. I'll probably do a more thorough review via blog. Or no, I did do a review via blog. I'll probably do another video on it. It's actually a mega dungeon, and it's one of the. I'm sure there's mega dungeons out there for Shadowdark, but this is the first one I've encountered, and it's got some great backstory. Basically, there's this keep that's crumbling, so it's not just a clever name, but there's like this curse. The people who are living there receded into the bowels of it, and people are like, oh, what happened there? And so there's all this mystery. And then there's some great disease rules and timers that really push your characters to go forward and keep diving into this place. I don't think I certainly have some criticisms, and you can see those on the blog, but they're minor compared to what you get here. Like, you with Tom Wilson's book, you could probably get months, if not like a year of gaming, because I think there's like 11 levels to this. There's all this stuff that you can do. There's magic items. There's a few factions. And one of the things I really like is that in the beginning of the book, he goes over the factions, not in detail, but lets you know what they are. And to me, that's incredibly important for mega dungeon work. And I discovered this with my actual play of Lamentations of Elemental Evil, you can find on Rumble. I'd taken off YouTube. But the idea of that was they would, my Lamentations game, they would go into the Temple of Elemental Evil by Gary Gygax, and there are factions in there, but you don't discover the factions until you flip all the way through and get to where they're introduced. So there's no overview, and this, of course, is the early days of the hobby before that kind of layout consideration was even thought of. So just the layout is really good. The page, I mean, it doesn't follow the typical Shadowdark layout, but I think that's okay because it's clearly, each room is clearly like identified, described, and you can play this on the fly. And I just love it. I had a good time. Jeff, Death Angel Shadow, is running it and Aerodite stream. We had a good time with it. I'm looking forward to running it. In fact, when the Western Reaches comes out and I get the map, I'm already planning on placing this on the map, as well as a few other Shadowdark modules that I have, including a few of my own. So, because I'm a big fan of hex crawls and stuff. So, and giving my players options to do things. So yes, so that's my number one right now. The Crumbling Keep of Kashmir by Tom Wilson. You can only find it on Lulu though. So there you go.
No, it's well, as a physical book, it's on drive-through.
Oh, is it? As a PDF?
Yeah, because it's in my wish list.
Oh, well, I did not know that. Oh, I'll have to get the PDF. So, because if I had the PDF, I would have been sharing my screen. So,
I have that one as well. I just haven't got a chance to play it or look at it.
Oh, it's good.
Cool.
It's good. Cool. There are some criticisms I've had, like the maps kind kind of a glaring error is that he doesn't give you like the dimensions and the scale. So you're like, are those 5x5 hexes or are those 10x10 hexes? My understanding is he intended it to be 5x5 hexes, but let me tell you, they should be 10x10 for most of the dungeon. So I don't know. Do what you will with that. But I really like it. Like I said, there are some criticisms. I outline those in my blog post. You can go there, Lord Mattias at WordPress or .wordpress or whatever, if you want to read my analysis of it. But I really do like it in the end of the day. And it's great to see a mega dungeon. Shadowdark is a dungeon crawling. At the end of the day, it's a dungeon crawling system. So it was really nice to see a mega dungeon versus, the one-page dungeon stuff that we've been seeing. So,
yep. Agree. All right, FOXXoff. You want to do another one, or is it my turn?
You go.
How you looking? Cool.
Real quick, we got a $2 from Brian DM Cloaker. Thanks, buddy. Question for Fox: Midderlands plus Shadowdarks equals Euro approved.
I haven't actually looked at Midderlands yet. I know what it is, though. It looks cool. I've heard a lot of good things about it. So,
all right then.
That's all I got.
That's all he's got. All right, Gary, what's yours? What's your?
All right, so I'm gonna put the link in our private chat here. I had a real hard time deciding which I was going to do first because two of these are really important to me.
Oh, I knew this one was coming. Yep.
Hell March by Alchemic Raker. I have so many good things to say about this. Before, let me tell you what this is. This is based on chainmail-ish. Simplified. I don't want to say simplified. Look, this says for Shadowdark. This brings wargaming to your Shadowdark game. If your characters are going to lead armies, if they're going to do any of that cool Game of Thrones shit, if they're going to lead a group of bandits, whatever it is you may need, Hellmarch is going to do that. But it's more than that. I was rereading this, getting ready for the show. So not only can you use this with Shadowdark, you can use this with BX, any BX clone. In fact, any game really that uses hit dice, sort of as you gain levels, you get another hit die. You can use this for. And on top of all that, it's its own game. Like, you don't have to put it with your role-playing game. It's meant to be played on a table. It's meant to be played with pieces. You can do it online with a VTT if you've got all that shit figured out. I'm sure you could do it. I've experimented where I had like one guy who had like 10 troops and they just took out a bunch of monsters and it was okay. But this is meant to be played on a table with pieces. I talked to Alchemic Raker this week. Hellmarch, no, it is not an OSE campaign setting. It is a war game. This is, so if we all remember back, if we think of our D&D history, first there was chainmail, and then there was D&D, which was sort of added onto chainmail and became its own thing. This is trying to put the war game back into your role-playing game. The rules are very simple. They're very streamlined. I put it in my OSE campaign, and the level of depth that it added, the amount that people started planning. Wait, how many? I'm level what? How many troops can I can hire? This many troops? We're gonna go do this thing. It opened up new dimensions of play. I cannot recommend this enough. I talked to Alchemic Raker this week. He's gonna be at North Texas. I don't know for sure, but I do think he might be working on like a revised or a second edition. Bro, I don't think you understand how good of what you have right here. We're going to have a drink. I got plans. Like many other people I've met on this show, I planned your career in my head. You got to do Hellmarch. Listen, do Hellmarch. Everybody wants to have these epic campaigns. And you're going to run around with your wizard buddy and your cleric. This will get you want to do Battle of the Bastards? This is it.
Yeah.
You want to have that fight on the wall? This is it.
I want to interject real quick. So, I've been running this Gods of the Forbidden North campaign. My players have created their own mercenary company called the Iron Price, and they've been using a lot of mercenaries. But we've also been using one-to-one time, and things have been happening in between game sessions. And they picked a fight with a criminal syndicate that, while they were away from the city, the criminal syndicate tried to attack their holdings in the city. So what I solo played using Hell March to figure out the outcome of this battle. So simple, so easy. I was able to figure out what happened within like 30, 40 minutes because I had to review the rules and all this other stuff. But Hell March is so damn seamless. Like when Gary was running his West Marches game last year and we were using it, it was just like, it wasn't like we were playing a completely separate game. It was just sort of like this subsystem that we brought in and then we set it aside when we were done. I love Hell March. I agree, Gary. I'm glad you picked it. I knew you were going to pick it, but I'm glad you picked it.
Can I say something on that as well?
Sure. Go ahead, man.
I think all three of us met him at North Texas last time. We'd go by his booth, and he was in that little back corner. And what the heck is this? And he had the Lego pieces out to, for the troops and everything. He about a month after North Texas, he wound up, because he's a Houston guy, coming by my house and we played.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. Yeah.
It just everything Gary said is absolutely true. Just a little bit of a change there. If you're a war gamer, you're not going to pick up Hell March to go play a war game.
No,
it is meant to give you enough feeling to quickly move through your role-playing game to inject some feeling of a war game, right? To have mass combat rules.
Hold on, Erudite. Hold on, real quick. I agree that it's not the war game that I would necessarily pick. I might do Old Lords. You know what I mean? Because he has the actual chainmail translation, which is Old Lords.
Old Lords, yeah.
Yes.
But Hell March, I have played this with my kids who didn't even roll up characters. I told them they had a 4th level fighter. This was their commander, and we played with pieces.
Yeah, you could do that, sure. I'm just saying,
you're right. It's not the game I would pick.
I mean, I think he will tell you that his intention with this, separate from Old Lords, which is basically just a cleanup of chainmail, which is very good too. But really, Hell March is meant to use if you're in the middle of a Shadowdark game and you're at the castle and growing in power, and you have some hirelings, some henchmen, some mercenaries, or what have you. You can put together a battle and extrapolate it fast enough for a war game feeling. But if you're a war gamer who's playing 30 Years' War, 100 Years' War stuff or fantasy stuff, and you're used to playing that war game, this is not exactly that. I was taken back a little because, I've done a lot of, particularly Napoleonic war gaming and stuff. So I'm thinking, okay, what about flanking rules? My mind started going to more of the complexities that creep into the average war game for miniatures, and that's not there. And that's okay, and I'm totally fine with it. It's not a critique. It doesn't need to be there. I think he'll tell you, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he's trying to get you just enough to move through that part of the game to get back into your role-playing. Right. And Matt's right. It's seamless with your role-playing game.
It's definitely wargaming rules made for people who are into role-playing games.
Yes. Yeah,
it's
sort
not,
of like
I agree with that.
I would completely. If we were
push me again, Erudite. Push me again. No,
okay. If I were to use an analogy, your standard war game that like gets into that sort of nuts and bolts and nitty gritty. We'll say Warhammer 40K or something like that. That is to something like Axe. Adventure Conquer King system. Hell March is to BX. It's rules light enough where you get enough meat on the bone to chew, be satisfied, but still have that fun, that sort of emergent story as your character is like leading the charge against the orcs on the battlements or whatever it is.
It's the difference between driving a Maserati with a split V12 twin turbo V6 engine built by Ferrari inside the Maserati.
Did someone invite Driving and Dragons to
I
this
can tell you more
stream?
about that another time.
All right.
What? What?
I
I know nothing about
So
cards.
we've
man.
come back around full circle. Everybody's had a chance to talk about the Shadowdark third-party products that they like.
I got some super chats. Hold up.
We got some super chats to catch up on. Just need to rein this
All
in
right.
a little bit.
Yeah, okay. $2 from Tabletop Tavern. That's Jeff. Hey, man, running Crumbling Keep of Kashmir was a blast. Yeah, he was our game master. It was a lot of fun. Next from DM. Okay, well, he's asking a question, so we'll get to this in just a second. We'll put a pin in it.
I told him
Roundtable.
Topic.
What makes Shadowdark fun to design for and why?
And Chubby says it's not off topic. It is off topic, motherfucker. We're going for specific pieces.
That's true. Welcome to the second watch, everybody who's new. I've seen an uptick in subscribers.
We're not here to make friends.
Yeah, we don't. This is the most unprofessional show you've ever seen. $4.99 from Agile Monk. Hey, man, good to see you. For the record, LM, I guess that's me. Thanks for having. How do you pronounce your name again?
Cinnamon.
Oh, Kieran.
Cinnamon.
See, I've been calling you
here,
Fox
I
on
was expecting
purpose because it's a lawyer thing.
I dated a
Kieran,
stripper once
on
who
stream.
spelled
He's
her
a good
name
man,
a
and I
lot
consider
like
him a
that.
true mate from across the pond. Well, I want to actually. I've interacted with Karen for a while through chat. And this is one of the things I absolutely love. I'm going to digress real quick. I absolutely love about the online community. I've been able to meet a lot of you through chat. I get I have a blast when I meet you in person. That's how I met Erudite and Flint at North Texas Con last year. We kind of had some interaction before that. So Karen, like, we're gonna have to do some collabs, man. I really want to do some video collabs.
Yeah.
So
I can think
but
of
yes,
things.
yeah, we have to because you're just fun to talk to. So anyway, thanks for the super chats, guys. What was I gonna say? I wanted to respond to Brian. I sort of feel like that's like a topic for like an actual show. I don't know.
I feel like that's a whole.
Yeah, like why? In fact, didn't we tackle this a little while ago? Like,
actually, that one of the things I was going to bring up after I had done all my, all of the picks that I had pulled, which we're not going to get through. There's no fucking way we're getting through all of this tonight.
No, I don't.
But one of the things I was going to say is none of mine are adventures. One is a setting, but. Well, I guess the other one is a setting too, but they're all different. It's like they fill in gaps. And Shadowdark is that game that some have criticized as being incomplete, but others think it's a game which offers you the opportunity to custom tailor it to be exactly the game you want to be. It all depends on how you look at it.
There are a lot of hard cases with Shadowdark with the core rules, though, and every once in a while, my stuff, and if you watch my videos at all, and I'm sure a few of you do, I'll always be adding something. What about this? Could you do something? Flint and I were going back and forth about the new Renown system, which doesn't appear in the core rules. It may not be in Western Reaches. It's in one of the Cursed Scrolls.
Sure, yeah.
Cursed Scrolls are like that, too. One of the biggest videos I ever did was, I wasn't complaining. I was just saying that if you want to play Shadowdark, don't tell me it's a dungeon delver because you read the core rules, okay? Because the core rules also mention marshes and swamps and cities and all the different districts within city. There's a whole lot more stuff there that get hung up on.
We're gonna fight.
Yeah.
Erudite.
All you want.
I'll just boot him from the stream, Gary. I'll just boot him from the stream.
Oh no, John. I'm gonna back Aerodite up. So you gotta boot both of us.
Nerd war. How about a nerd war?
Yeah. So anyway, there's a lot of other things you can do with this, but I'm sure.
I don't think it's okay. No, I'm just kidding. Kieran, it's your turn.
Yes,
we're talking about third-party products for Shadowdark. Give us one more before you get pulled away to your employment.
Yeah,
boss.
So this one's going to be another setting book, and it's going to be very different. So it's called Fandonia. It's essentially if Italy and the Mediterranean got transferred into Shadowdark. So it takes a lot of Italian and Mediterranean mythology, sort of twist it a little bit. So basically this is going to be a big area in the world. You have 50 hex locations. So there's going to be a lot of detail on each page. You're going to have, I think, maybe 4 or 5 detailed description of what they are. You have a bunch of new races and classes. Like, I'll give you an example of one of the classes, or one of the races. You are a Pinocchio. You are literally a Pinocchio character.
Interesting.
Yeah, and what its special ability it has is you can heal. Like, so I think it's like 1d4 or 1d6 hit points per day. You're just a piece of wood, and you're like patching yourself back up, essentially. So that's one of the things that's flavor. And one of the classes is a puppeteer. It's a magic user class. It's really cool. Now the guy who made this is an Italian guy himself. He went really deep into it. He's a lot of his own, obviously, literally myths and legends from like his local area were put into this, and I can't believe it hasn't sold as much as it has. I think it's up there with Femoria for me. Again, like even when you get to the back page, you get your adventure included in it. It's a decent length adventure, 50-room dungeon inside a building. So that's going to take you a little while to get through.
Yeah,
and it's not just like a simple box and a line, another box. It's pretty well designed, laid out. Yeah, it's really cool.
Kieran, you're not lying to us, are you? Because your nose looks like it's growing.
What?
So you're not lying to us, are you? Because your nose.
Oh, no.
Well, can I stab people with my nose? Can I like?
Nobody got it.
I'm actually intrigued by this because this is exactly the kind of thing I'm talking about when I'm talking about setting design. So I want to go back to that. I think it's great that this product has the adventure and all that. So you're saying that this guy is Italian, or he's from the Mediterranean, and he's diving into the myths and stuff. Oh wow!
Yeah.
So is there a bestiary involved, or?
Yeah. Again, it has around, I think it's 35, 40 different creatures, and it has a lot.
Dude,
of like,
I think I'm going to spend money because you're on my show. My wife is going to tell me not to have you on the show in the future.
The thing is, it's very different from a lot of stuff that's out there as well.
Yeah, but that's
we get a lot of. Yeah,
no, go ahead. I'll just say I like that though, because this is the kind of thing. I'm getting excited because what I'm hearing from you is the kind of thing that James Raggi does behind the scenes at Lamentations. Like, he's looking for that kind of thing. And what's interesting to me, and I'm just discovering this listening to you, people in the third party, like indie sphere of Shadowdark, are just doing it naturally. They're, hey, let's tailor Shadowdark to this. Because, I mean, we are going to talk about Chubby a little bit later in the stream. But that's what he's been.
Shadowdark King, dude.
Yeah, we have to. We didn't want
to talk about Chubby.
Yeah,
but Chubby, we're gonna talk about you, bro. You might be in bed by the time we get there, but you got a whole fucking section coming up. All right.
Yeah, but that's the kind of thing. That's the kind of thing I'm looking for in terms of setting, and it's not even Shadowdark, the BX, whatever. If you have your own setting, I don't want something that's just all lore. Like, what are you doing with the mechanics that makes your setting unique, such that when I'm rolling dice, not only may I have this like imagination thing going on in my head, but there's an actual visceral physical thing that's happening because of your world. That's where like the immersion happens, right? That's the rubber meets the road. So I am fascinated on this. What's it called again?
Fandonia.
Fandonia?
Yeah. So not only that, I just want to say one or two things quickly about it is there's also 2 or 3 games inside it that you can play. So there's like a soccer type game as well in here. There's tons and tons of charts for every possible situation you can think of on top of like we said, the Chubby stuff and the core Shadowdark. It's great. It's just a single guy doing it by himself.
That's awesome.
Can
you find this on Drive-Thru?
Yep, FOXXofRPG. The guy, he's trying to get a POD done at the moment, but he has to redo the whole book because of the layout.
In there, I've been there. I'll talk about it later in the stream. But
so that's the only thing about it. But it's great. You can get it up on for the PDF. It's cheap. It's brilliant. Again, I think it's like roughly 250, 260 pages. So it's not
250, 260. Wow,
something like that. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. It's 300 pages. I was wrong. I just pulled up the PDF. 300 pages.
This just in, I've received word that Chubby Funster will stay awake long enough to hear us praise him some more.
So wait. Okay, hold on. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Greg, I love you. I've been enjoying your Axe game. I love your work, but we strive to have like this late night thing going, and we started early because of you. And now you're telling me that if we talk about you all the time, you'll stay late. We're gonna go back to 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's official.
By the way, Fandonia is half price right now on drive-thru. You can get it for $6.
I'm glad that you actually brought that up, because as I was going, drive-thru's not. It's not the easiest site to figure out what the best thing is, right? Yeah. But I came across it enough that it aroused my curiosity. So it's good to hear that someone's enjoying it, that they like it. Aerodite,
sir,
something that you didn't write. What do you like?
Okay, yeah, I didn't mean to. You guys brought up Warhorse. I wasn't even going to go there.
No, you're good.
That's because we like Warhorse. And honestly, I gave Flint an opening as well to show, and he did not take it.
I did not.
How creepy is that? That looks pretty cool.
What is that?
Blood Knights.
This is a thin little book, and it's a cool little adventure. It's actually one of the better vampire adventures I've ever seen. And I'm not a Strahd fan and all that. I always criticize.
Link will be in the chat.
Yeah, the link's there. Thanks, Matt. So it's the martial cult of Blood Knight Gaius. And I found it actually. It was written by Claymore, and the guy's name is Horton. Here's a Who, something like that. I forget what it is. B. Everett Dunbar, I think. I don't know. It's dark in here. I don't have glasses on. But go check out the link. And I've not played it. I bought it some time ago. I don't even remember where I bought it, but I think it is on drive-thru. But the story is really cool. It sets up with this. It's kind of an honor-bound situation with this paladin who is slain and killed by a vampire. He becomes a vampire himself. But along the way, he fights this man, and he refuses going forward to kill and feed on humans unless he fights with them and defeats them in battle. So it adds a martial quality, almost like a knightly order, a vampiric knightly order. There's a lot of room for growth in this, but it's written for BX and for Knave. So if you were searching, and that's an overall point for all of you, if you're looking for cool stuff for Shadowdark, don't stop with Shadowdark. Don't go to drive-thru and just search Shadowdark. I'm a big fan of, like I said, the cross-pollination idea. I will grab something from BX or wherever, or into the Weird and Wild, or into the Sesson Citadel, or those are some favorites of mine. I will grab that stuff, and any decent GM, referee, whatever, who's been around for a while can take something written for Castles and Crusades or even DCC. Run the numbers, just change, work it into your armor class, your hit points. However the spells, right? It's not that difficult, but you can use stuff from other systems. So this is really cool, and it's short, it's tight, and I'm really tempted. I haven't run anything in Monday nights because I'm really smart. And the way I work that out is I just get to play all the time, and I haven't had to run anything in forever.
I knew it.
I shouldn't have said it out loud, but we played Lamentations recently, and Matt ran that on Monday nights, and Dan is running Hyperborea right now, and a lot of people like that. I'm loving it too, but then I just started playing Axe also, and my mind is just mush during the week. I'm like, oh yeah, Shadowdark. I remember Shadowdark because I'm also writing something for Shadowdark right now. So Blood Knight Gaius, check that out. There's a cool epilogue at the end that talks about how the adventure goes down, and based on that, you might run into one of these characters from the story later on at a tavern, a couple of months down the line. It's another one of these that you can inject easily into a campaign, a micro adventure. So do check that one out. And can I mention just two other things? I won't go into detail here, but props to Paul, to Flint Fire Forge. He's been one of my favorite people online. If you're not checking out his obscenely, he's worried what the next word is going to be out of my mouth. I was going to talk about the price. Inexpensive, Paul. Flint. obscenely inexpensive because he doesn't charge much for his zine. Crit Happens, and he's written a lot about his world of Kriesh. But watch his videos, check out his stuff. I always learn something from him. And the other one, I like his micro adventures. And I just signed up. I was a free member on his Patreon, but I went and did the $5 a month. I don't think it's even $5 a month. I think it's when he publishes an adventure, he will send it to you like this. And it's Tim Shorts, Gothridge Manor, who was on here earlier. I don't know if he's still awake with us. You'll get one of these in the mail. This is just an 8.5 by 11 mini adventure. You know, this one is the Demon of Porter Crown. It's really cool. It involves a bunch of baboons who are attacking a city. Yeah, there's some. Yeah, is that from?
That's from one of his things here. Like he has these large NPC cards he'll mail you.
Yeah, yeah. So I just signed up for his Patreon, and I think when you download something, his billing system is unique. It's not like he's just tapping you every month, but he's putting stuff out. He's writing. This is actually micro adventure number 116. So over the years, Tim has written a ton, and a lot of people who are wired in the hobby know him. He's not a real front forward guy. He doesn't promote himself hard at all. But if you go find Gothridge Manor and you check out his Patreon, you'll find some really cool micro adventures. And again, like we said earlier, you can plug them into any campaign setting. I didn't want to really talk for my part tonight. I didn't want to talk about campaign settings. There's some great ones out there. There's new ones. You can also go hack Gods of the Forbidden North and play Shadowdark in that if you wanted to. You know, you can do whatever you want. So anyway, check those two out on micro adventures. Check out Flint stuff and Tim stuff, please.
Nice. All right, Flint.
Yes.
Real quick, you do really good stuff. Would you please take a minute to tell us about the Shadowdark products that you're putting out? Because I'm just looking through drive-through earlier in the week and all the Shadowdark stuff.
Well, I don't do. Look, I don't do a ton. I have 4 zines that I've done so far because, and to speak to, I'll want to reignite DM Cloaker's thing. But what makes it easy to write? I'll say what makes it easy to write is there's a lot of white space. There's a lot of the undoneness.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Right. So for me, I grew up playing first edition. And I was always excited about titles. Like you get this title, but what does that mean? Actually, it just means nothing. Actually, you don't use it for anything other than you just became so and so, which is super to me, like very video game like in that sense. So for me, I just did 4 zines on the basic 4 core things, and I'll do some more. But basically, I take those titles, and there's something you actually achieve. You actually have to, there's a requirement you have to make. There's a review you have to go through. There's a right you have to accomplish, and then you get rewarded. So, I wanted to take those titles that you could have like a little micro, I don't want to say a micro adventure, but it could be something that's like a cutaway scene or something you do in your downtime with your DM, to be able to do those things. And so, I just wanted to take those kind of things and take that white space that's nobody's really capitalized on and said, like, I just think titles should matter more. And that was my jam. I just said, look, that's my opportunity to take a system like Shadowdark and bring to life something that I thought could have used some more, to reward players. Like, you've achieved something. Let's do something fun. It's also a great way to get out to give away the really cool magic items. Like if you don't want to populate your whole thing with a ton of magic items, we'll give that special thing, that sword, that scroll, that whatever, to somebody that achieves it and give them the cool thing then. If you don't want to just leave it up to a horde of treasure in a dungeon somewhere that they may or may not find, reward them for it. So that's my pitch on why I did the 4 zines. Not all my stuff is Shadowdark. In fact, I probably have maybe 6 things that are Shadowdarky. Everything else is kind of
but it can all be used.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your take on the hex flower when you were doing the what was it called? The oh god, I can't remember, like the hex flower of terror or whatever. It was a good analysis. It was a great analysis. And yes, that's it. That I just think it's great. And I actually it's inspiration for something that I've been working on that will be published eventually. I
Matt was
love
talking
what
about hex flowers, and every time he would use the word hex flower, I'd be like gay. And then
Motherfucker,
and
hex
then
flowers
you
are-
posted, and then you like published something about hex flowers. He's like, "See,
They're-
Gary, see," and I like you, so
yeah,
They're great
exactly.
for framing. They're great for framing
Yeah.
and building out what you want to do. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's a great visual and it's a great great way to map in a lot of ways.
it's incredible because when you describe it and talk about it, like I believe you. It doesn't sound gay at all, but when Matt talks about it, it's
You know what? Okay, both you. Okay, so Gary's fired, and so is Brian. Okay, he's here. He is. You're all fired. I'm
All
looking for
fired.
new members of the second watch.
Yeah, me and Aerodite will come in.
Hex flowers are fucking awesome.
Let me bring up. Can I bring up another? I don't
no,
wanna talk
they
about my
are.
stuff.
Flynn
Can I-
explained it the right way.
Can I talk
Hey,
about?
hold up, right
Go
one
ahead.
second. Fox, Karen, you just mentioned that you need to like get ready to take off.
Yeah.
So wanted to give you a few minutes. Thank you so much for being on the stream. Thank you so much for your insight. Everybody, FOXXofRPG, go to his YouTube channel, give him a like, a follow, a subscription, all that stuff. And we got to do some more collab work, dude.
Absolutely, man.
Oh,
It's a real shame that we have this time thing. I really enjoy your channel, and you were all like, "I'm so excited to be on your show." It's like, bro, we're kind of excited you're coming. to
Yeah,
the
no,
show.
we were, yeah.
No,
So, don't.
We're
you're being too nice and too kind. But
Yeah, so that's great. And whatever, dude, go back to work. You should.
yeah. I just want to say quickly, thanks again for having me on, and thanks for everyone, commenting and liking and subscribing and all that stuff. And you should be doing that here all the time as well, guys. That's the whole point. Like these awesome videos by awesome people. And again, the same with like all RPG stuff out there. It doesn't matter what it is. Guys are trying their hardest to create something, and even if something is not great, feedback is key for people to learn from. How it could be a simple layout issue or thing that's in there. Maybe this part of the page of the book should be further or more in the front or further in the back. Anything like that will help people dramatically. And ease of use, that's what we want. But yeah, anyway, I'll see you guys again. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
And
Steve.
have a good one, guys.
Good to
Have
see
a
you.
great weekend, brother.
Hey,
Take
later,
care.
man. Take it easy. Anytime. Come back.
That's actually a great point he was leaving off on there. For those of us who write stuff, is the first two things I did last year, I didn't have a lot of other eyeballs looking at it. This new one that I'm working on, I do, and I learned my lesson, and I plan to play test it more than. Matt, are you trying to tell me something about stereo?
No, I'm fucking with Jeff. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, with Jeff. Yes.
Okay.
Jeff, what's Jeff saying? I don't know. What,
He said he's gonna buy me a bouquet of hex flowers for North Texas Con.
But when you do,
Fuck you, Jeff.
Tell me
you very
beforehand so
much.
I can get a picture. I want a fucking picture of that. I want a picture of that.
he may want to stay in your room. He may need extra, sleep on the couch kind of situation.
All right.
All right. It looks like we have a
Okay.
new running gag. Thanks, Gary.
Kieran, okay, so Kieran went, and next it would be, who would it be next? Well, we went
So
Matt, I think it's you actually.
Okay. All right. Well, we had this guy on just about a month ago. His name is Andrew, and he had a very successful Kickstarter for a zine called The Color Out of Space. And I love this because I'm a Lovecraft fan. A lot of his other stuff that I've also picked up is Lovecraft inspired, especially this one. I have opinions. I think I've written about them in my blog, but this is I have yet to really go into, and I plan on doing a video and a blog entry on this. But preliminarily, what I love about this is he is experimenting with the rules of Shadowdark, Grim Games. And that to me is OSR. All right. We were talking about the white space. We were talking about what it is to develop something. And Kelsey has provided a framework, and we are free to do whatever. I mean, and we've seen it with zines and books and this, that. Everyone and their brothers second cousin has their own version of the archer class, the knight class, the this class, the that class, whatever. Everyone's doing their own thing. Honestly, you'll probably never see me comment on character classes, alternative character classes, because at the end of the day, it's going to come down to personal preference because there's so many out there. But what this zine is doing is taking the gauntlet and expanding on it. There are, while you have the, freedom to kind of do the thing and get killed by the various things that are out there in the middle of the gauntlet, like you can level up and then you keep going. It's really interesting. It's a fascinating take on the gauntlet design, and you get some really awesome Lovecraftian horror all along the way. And the artwork, I mean, this guy did a self-publishing very similar to Kelsey. Like, this is not, he's putting everything together. Matthew Tapp, Barrows and Borderlands. It's the same thing. Andrew's doing all this stuff in his basement or whatever. I don't know where he's doing it. But like, when we interviewed him, he went to local printers and were like, hey, can you print my zine for me? So like, this is not something, that's just sort of like quick drop ship, easy printing. Like he's doing it. And I'm holding it in my hands. This is some great quality paper and all that stuff. Like it's just good. I love it. Color Out of Space. Go check it out.
We had him on the show, and he was a pleasure to have. And I am very reluctant to have newbies on the show. Me and Matt have many. It's a t-shirt.
Yes, this is going on. It's going on the t-shirt.
Me and Matt have many a talk about. I'm a little bit more hardcore about letting newbies on the show than Matt is. Matt's a lot nicer to.
It's not.
You are.
No, it's not about nice. It's about discovery. Like,
sure,
there's a lot out there, and I want to give everyone a voice.
Got you. But Andrew was great. His book is great. I like the fact that he is taking the time to make sure it is quality. I know there are guys out there who don't care as long as they get the rules in, as long as they get the map in, they're fine with it. They don't really care about the aesthetic of the thing. One of the things that Shadowdark offers to a third-party creator is, here is the Shadowdark aesthetic. It is very blatant. It is very obvious. Andrew's doing a great job. It's just a quality product all around. So good job, Andrew.
Yeah.
Good job,
that's another
man.
thing. That's another thing too. Like the Crumbling Keep of Kashmir. Andrew is doing his own thing. Like, I mean, it's Shadowdark like, right? Like it's Shadowdark like, right? But it's not. It's still his own thing. He's not doing the double column bullet point, which I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of. I'm still old school. I'd like a little bit more meat to read,
man.
but no, I get it.
Whatever works.
It's not a make or break for me. It's just more like
I think a
seasoning
page needs to look pleasing from far away. Hold the page out until you can't read it. And if it still looks good, you're doing great. Okay. My turn. Ready? You're welcome, Grim.
You're welcome, brother.
So
come on the show again, by the way. You're always welcome.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we don't have a schedule or anything. Whatever.
Yeah, no, we're flying by the seat.
Gary doesn't want you there, but come on the show.
Yeah. Fuck, I don't care. Whoever. It's 2 hours on Friday. Just fucking be here on time. All right. All right. I'm gonna do this, and after I drop this on everybody, I'm gonna be able to walk away and make a drink. My cup is empty. Because I think this is gonna spur a conversation that we do need to have. I do not have a physical copy. As I was going, when we were talking about doing the Shadowdark things, I went to my shelf. As you guys know, I don't keep a lot of physical product. I'm pretty selective in what I actually buy physically. But I was very surprised to find out that I did not own a physical copy of Shadow City by Chubby Funster, our good friend. So I went over to FOXXofRPG and I promptly ordered a copy today.
Oh, wrong one.
Oh, that's the wrong one. I promptly ordered.
I got it.
I promptly ordered a copy today of Shadow City, the hardback. Sorry about that, Chubby. I really thought I did that. What I've been reading was the PDF review copy that he had sent us. Here's the thing about Shadow City. You guys talk, or we've talked about Shadowdark having gaps, having white space, if you want to be friendly about it. What Chubby did with Shadow City is he took the core mechanics of Shadowdark and he filled in all the white space so that he could create the exact experience that he wanted to create. And the experience he wanted to create was, what if, I don't know for sure, but what it feels like to me is, what if Vampire the Masquerade was an OSR style game? And he accomplished it. It's great. I think his city rules and the way you move and you're looking for blood and there's a constant need to keep moving. Anyway, I think that Shadow City is probably the product that has pushed Shadowdark the furthest. You know, it's really stretched the boundaries of what Shadowdark can do. I think Chubby's the one who had the brain to be able to know how far he could stretch it without breaking it. I also, from what I understand, I don't know for sure, you know, Chubby has some simpler products that are still great that I think have probably sold more. But Shadow City is just really, it's that game that, man, I hope it finds an audience, because one day I would like for it to be worth it to Chubby to write an expansion that does mages, werewolves, and hunters. And right now, I don't think it is. I don't know that it is worth his time, but I hope one day it is. And I think everybody should check out Shadow City.
Well, you know, on that point, and Gary, if you want to go grab your drink, you can. I'm not going to like refute anything you said, because I agree.
Word.
And this goes back to something I said earlier in the stream about settings and like the experience we craft. One of the reasons why I think Chubby Funster, and I want to be honest here, when we conceived of this like concept for the stream, we like expressly said to all these guys, all our guests, please pick something that's not Chubby Funster. And it's not because we don't like Chubby, but because like what he's doing is like hands down, like Kelsey should hire him. Like he should be part of her team, because he seems to have unlocked what Shadowdark can do, and he is doing the thing that I have been saying for years: create systems, or settings that are going to create like experiences for people, and he's doing it. And I'll be honest with you, when I discovered Chubby's stuff, I saw this thing called Shadow Sun, and I'm like, oh, this is a Dark Sun thing. And then I looked at it and I'm like, wait a minute. He published this around the time the first book came out, and I'm like, I'm not sure about this. And I'm a hardcore Dark Sun fan, so I was skeptical. Then I picked up Shadow Rim. I've never played Skyrim. Never. I've never been interested in that universe. I've never played any of those video games, but I got to play this on Aerodite stream with Chubby running it, and like I all of a sudden understood like all my friends who were playing those video games, like why they liked it. And that's when I realized this is a guy who seems to understand how to make settings come to life. Like he's the guy that I think is actually understanding where the OSR has to go. We didn't want to make this stream about Chubby because there's other great third-party guys out there, but we also wanted to give props to our friend who is clearly leading the way. Shadow City is great. I'm not a vampire guy. Chubby, if you make a Mage the Ascension version, I'll definitely play that. But this is great, and I am because of this and this, I am very confident that your revised Shadow Sun is actually going to be a true Dark Sun retro clone. So that's our Chubby Funster segment.
Highlight.
Go ahead, Flint.
No, I'm just saying it's the highlight. It's the
Can I suggest maybe while Gary's gone, Matt, you talk about you have something you're working on, right? For Shadowdark.
Oh yeah. Well,
don't forget that.
I have a bunch of things I'm working on for Shadowdark. So in that vein, I'm a Lamentations guy. I'm a horror guy. I have something I just published called The Living Darkness Volume 1. It's 131 pages. It's a horror anthology in the same vein of like movies like VHS or Creepshow, where you get a bunch of vignettes. So you got 4 adventures, all kind of touching upon different versions of horror: supernatural, body, psychosexual, and then I have like a trap room, kind of like the movie Saw. People really seem to like the body horror one, The Return of the White Wizard. You get to fight a brain at the end.
By the way, I am running that tomorrow night.
Oh, nice. Fantastic.
For my, by the way, just so anybody knows, I do have 2 spots left in the chat. So hit me up if you want to play.
I had a blast. All 3 of the 4 adventures were actually derived from Baron Drop doing like a Shadowdark adventure design contest. As I was designing the adventure, a lot of my ideas hit the cutting room floor just for space and time and all that stuff. Well, I expand, and so now what was like an 8-page adventure is now like a 20-page adventure kind of thing. So I'm really excited about it. It's the first in a series. I'm already like a third of the way through volume 2, which is going to be dedicated to cursed objects and adventures around those cursed objects. It's kind of like Alexander Macris just released the the treasure tome. I'm like the anti-treasure tome. Like, you don't want to find these things. So it's, I don't know, there was this television show from the 90s called Friday the 13th. It had nothing to do with Jason Voorhees, but like these kids went out and tried to find evil objects, and that's kind of like the inspiration. But anyway, so if you're interested in horror and you want to like not just like survival horror, but like horror, check out The Living Darkness. A guy named Tarmhell did the cover. I fucking love it. So you can find that DriveThruRPG. I had some wild experiences trying to get the print on demand to work. And again, shout out to Better Than Bacon, who did the layout to fix all my mistakes. Thank you, sir. You made my project come to life, and I really appreciate it. So
it was awesome.
With that said, we have a $5 super chat from Dan. Matt, just FYI, when you replace Gary with me, my bladder will last the full show.
Eat a fat bag of dicks. You can have your $5 back. I don't give a fuck. I wasn't going to pee. I was going to pour another drink.
Danny boy.
We'll talk.
Thanks for being here, Dan.
I'm just kidding.
Welcome, Dan.
Anyway, please check this out. Please check out Chubby stuff. So that's it. That's all I have. Erudite, what else you got on your
it's my turn, goddammit. I'm after you.
Oh, we did you when you were gone.
Oh no, wait, I did Chubby.
We summarized.
Right, you
Chubby.
did. Yeah.
I said Chubby. My bad.
We got another $5 super chat. Hold up. Well, actually, I don't even know if it's on mine. I might be on
Thraxis.
Thraxis. Hey, fellows, I'll be at North Texas RPG. Hope to see you all there again. I just put out my new Shadowdark zine, and we'll be running games there. Awesome. Hey, man, I think I met you at Blackwall's game. We were sitting next to each other, and you looked at me like, hey, do you have a YouTube channel? I recognize you. And I'm like, I do. And you're like, you're Lord Mandius. I'm like,
in that game.
Yeah, remember? I think I know who this is. Yeah, awesome, man. Hope to see you there. If you see us, please say hi.
And that was on my channel, by the way. Thanks, Thraxis. Appreciate it, buddy.
All right, so we're paired. So that would mean what? 50-50? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I'll go 60-40, you know.
We'll negotiate behind
if you're Joe the lawyer, you take all of it. Because
that's why he's better at the law than me, I guess.
Somebody accidentally fidgeting here.
Yeah,
mind.
somebody
Go ahead.
accidentally they meant to give it to me and they gave it to Joe. And Joe just now he framed it and he has it like in his background.
Oh,
where
that's funny.
Where
Good
I
for
see
him.
my $5 every time I see him now. It's just sitting there.
That was him. That was him. I hope to see you again, brother. I hope to see you again.
I'm having the biggest pain in the ass time with AdSense trying to get my account set up properly so I can take a $5 chat at some point. I'm almost having more trouble with that than I am with drive-through. So I don't know. Hey, can I talk about one last thing for me?
You sure can. Go
Yeah.
for it.
So the thing I'm working on is kind of props to Professor DM. He did a Shakespeare game years ago called Macbeth, and it's all based on Macbeth.
I remember that. Yeah.
Tragedy in the play. So I've always been a big fan of Hamlet. I try to read it once a year. I don't always get there, but I've read it several times. I'm no expert on Hamlet, but I love it, and I love all the multiple interpretations. And I'm thinking, Elsinore Castle in Denmark in the early Middle Ages. Yeah, that would make a pretty damn cool setting. So I'm probably 70 to 80% done with it. I'm filling in some dungeons. I have to have some artwork done. Some art direction is there on the PDF right now. And I showed it to the guys Monday night after we were done on the stream. So I'm excited about that. But it's all going to focus on, as you would guess, the key characters and the factional play and rivalries between them. And the themes will be essentially, it's very human centric, but the themes involved are going to be, of course, revenge, which is a big part of Hamlet, madness, and people going, apeshit crazy. And then lastly, poison. So poisons will have lots of play within this zine as well. So I'm looking forward to that, and I hope to have that out before the end of the year.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That Shakespeare is not Henry V. It's a piece of propaganda shit for the Tudors. So, I'm glad the guy died of dysentery. And
Whoa.
I'm tired
You gotta go. Jesus
I'm tired of
Christ,
hearing
dude.
about
Whoa.
I can't believe Aerodite.
Who be that
Jesus
wishes
Christ,
so?
dude.
Yeah. Oh, please.
Cousin Westmoreland?
You got it. Sometimes before you
Tell
talk,
it through
you
my
should
host.
ask a friend. We got a
Tudor.
private chat. You can say, "Hey, I'm about to say
He does not have
this,"
stomach for this
and
fight.
we can tell you no.
Let
don't
him
do it.
depart.
Gary's one to edit my stuff first review it before we okay this stuff.
This is the only
His
show I know.
passport shall be made, and crowns
only
for
show I
comfort
know
for
where
his
you-
purse. What are you talking about? Henry V?
You're
Get
cursing
out.
guys from 1,000 years ago. I'm
Yeah.
like, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, ask any American to name 5 battles in the 100 Years' War, and you'll be lucky if you get Cressy, Poitiers.
Well, who cares?
Because
All
nobody
they're gonna
cares
know is
about
how
this
much cares
fucking
about
Euro
that.
trash.
French wine.
Yeah.
We had
French wine, of course. Took them 100.
History started.
116
History
years.
started in 1776. Anyway,
Everything before that was a
Oh,
mistake.
you mean the war with
Everything
the
before-
French basically helped us guarantee our freedom?
the French.
Now, I will admit it was because they were just, getting back at the Brits, of course.
All right.
Okay.
Well, whatever. Flint, back on topic. You're a responsible adult.
I try to be the
Jesus
adult in the room.
Christ.
I am what is called.
Ewok today on Discord. Not a Wookiee, but an Ewok, and he's been mad at me all day. So he's pouting.
When I come on this show, I consider myself the designated driver.
Oh, you are. You absolutely are. There's no
So-
doubt
What are you
about it.
talking about?
Nope.
So let's go ahead and start a fight then. Tim, who's in chat, we'll start a fight. My resource that I will mention now is the expanded solo dark resource for solo play, which I have done I did 7 videos where I went live on my channel for my members first, and I had a great time. And I was not a solo guy. I said, well, I'm going to try it. I'd never done it before. I had some previous experience with like 4 Against Darkness, which is kind of a soloish kind of, dungeon crawl kind of a game.
Got it.
And I even lost, he'll never see this, but I probably lost a friend because I teased him about solo play because that was just me. And I think he blocked me on his phone too, because like I tried to text somebody, I don't think he's forgiven me. And that's really where I was at. I was like, because my brain was like, this is a community game. We play around the table in person. We'll even play online. It's fine. But I'm not doing. So I just said, okay. So for the solo stuff, I did that. And I just found that this resource, it's good for anything, by the way. You could say it's for solo dark, or you could say it's for solo play. But I think it's great for anything you want to do. I mean, more tables, yes, give me more tables, please, because it's I found that for a resource, like I said, and I only use like 2 pages out of it. Like it has a ton of resources in there, and I wound up only using 2 pages of it just because it had cool stuff like what's in the dungeon. Like it had a list of things, what's in the dungeon. And then what is the purpose of the room? So as I rolled and did things, I found out, okay, what is this room? I don't know what this room is. And so it told me and did that. Yeah, the solo tools expanded. I think it's just a great resource, whether you play solo or not.
Is that I'm sorry, is that the Philip Reed? Is that the Philip Reed piece? Guy from Austin? Did he write that? The expanded?
I'll tell you in a second. I have it brought up here.
I've seen it popping up, and I've been watching your solo play as well. So I'm thrilled you got into Solo Dark. I really enjoyed it. In fact, you inspired me to pick it up and start playing again. So I got to dig my stuff out.
Yeah, because it's it's kind of the, like, for me, I like to just expand. Like I don't want to, like, which is, I don't like to bag on it until I've tried it, and say, look, if I think it's dumb, I'm just not going to do it. In fact, I try not to talk on my channel about things I hate. I only talk about things I love.
Sure.
The things I hate,
that's my personal policy on this channel.
The things I hate, I ignore you. You get no airtime. You get 0 space. Things I love, though, I'm going to push that thing straight forward because I want people to be involved in that. So as a resource, man, I think it's just a lot of fun to have anytime you can have some more, more tables in Shadowdark, give me more. I'm all about it.
Flint, I'm curious, how has playing Solo Dark affected you GMing Shadowdark? Like what are your takeaways when you go to run a game?
I think it's I think it's a good question. As far as DMing yourself is very hard because you're trying to be fair. You don't want, you as a DM, you want to reward yourself because, like, you don't want to lean over and pat yourself on the back or do whatever. But so if it taught me anything, it's like to be a better arbiter or an arbitrator of what's happening at the table, right? To say, look, how can I make this more fair in some kind of way, or how can I not be so arbitrary, hard-minded about something. So the process of me thinking it through, like, what kind of room is it? Who am I facing? What are my tactics? And the things that I come up with, things as a DM or that you say maybe you don't like when other people do it and you wind up doing it, you tend to show a little more grace to the table if they come up with something, because I'm having to come up with ideas myself, right? Because I'm by myself. Maybe the live chat is in there to do something, but I think it makes me more aware of what a player is sensing, and maybe allow myself to say, okay, I'll let you do that. Yeah, roll 1d6.
That's cool, man. I've been real resistant to solo play, and with summer coming up and the kids being home, I doubt I'm going to get a chance to really give it a shot anytime soon. But I have made this agreement with my better self that I will stop talking shit about solo play and the people who partake in it. I'm going to be a better person starting right now.
It's New Year's Day, Gary.
It's that time of year. Matt, I'm glad you can make it back because it is your turn.
What day is it? It's Christmas, sir. I haven't missed it, says Gary.
Everybody likes to talk shit about when I drink a little bit. Matt gets into his cups and everybody's just like, oh yeah, this is normal. Anyway.
Well, no, it is, because it is. I have nothing against solo play. I mean, if that's your bag, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. I have not like found the thing that grabs me, and I've tried solo dark. I've tried my first experience. It was 4 Against Darkness during COVID. I've played Free League solo rules, and just like I don't know. So I don't have a comment about the solo dark expanded rules you were just talking about. I mean, if it's cool, it's cool. But like to me, when I sit down to play a role-playing game, it's to be with my friends and have like this sort of experience. If I want to play by myself, that's when I turn on my Xbox.
We've talked about this before, and I've told you I think that character creation is play. I think that prep is play. That's why people over prep. So
I think that's part of the game. But
anyway, sorry, I'm getting us off track. Stay on track, guys. Stay on track. Sorry.
If you don't play it, Lord Mattis, for any other reason, play it to create for your worlds. Because if I drew anything, I now have, when I played this, because I took the random dungeon, I said that thing is now in my world. Because
that's fair.
And Tim and I do it. Tim from Gotham is my DM. We do duet play.
I was just going to mention that. Yes. Yep.
And we're and we're creating a whole thing. That's going to be wild. But there's like 10 or 15 things that I now can put in my setting. If for another reason, right? We create through play. So if it's just me creating things or me and Tim's doing something, we are birthing things into our universes.
I do see that, and I did use the tools and what I've learned from my experiments of solo play when running my Gods of the Forbidden North campaign. Like I said earlier in the stream, and I'll actually talk about this in my next installment of my, I don't know what the fuck it is, playthrough, whatever, analysis of Gods of the Forbidden North. But like when my players went through one of the first dungeons, they hired some mercenaries to help them. After a bunch of them died, the last one failed his morale check and ran and left the dungeon. So my question was, well, what happened to this guy? So I solo played him trying to make it back to Valkengard. But from my perspective, it was not me trying to have fun. Oh, hey guys, I'm playing D&D by myself. It was me, the dungeon master, going, what the fuck happened to this guy? And I pulled some rules, procedures to figure out how it worked. And that's where I thought solo play actually, helped out. But anyway, I'm sorry, this is a tangent.
What's your next product?
Gary the Fun Police just showed up. Okay. Anyway, go check out the thing Flint was just talking about.
Called maintaining.
Anyway, whose turn is it?
It's mine, and I'm going to go back where we were and ignore both.
Is it? Wait, whoa! I thought you were before Flint.
No,
I'm done. I'm done. I don't have anything. I talked about.
Okay, well, go ahead. I
talked about Grim Games.
I have one more thing. Go ahead.
One more thing I do want to talk about, but someone else can talk. Go ahead.
Yeah, just real quick. Grim Games was saying he likes the idea of using Solo Dark as a to brainstorm for a zine session. When Flint was saying that, that's exactly what I found with Solo Dark. And it wasn't so much about the rule set I was playing. It's just the pace is different. There's different expectations in your brain. If you're a writer and you write games, and you do, Matt, and Flint does, and I do, it's an idea generator because it's just you and the paper. And if you get off for 2 hours and you wind up mapping your hex map and that's all you're doing, that's fine. That's the game. Another session, you might start digging into NPCs and you start going, oh, let me look through Into the Weird and Wild or Dolmen Wood. Oh, I like that idea. And that gave me another idea. Let me write that down. And the other thing is, after every game, I don't think everybody does it this way, but I found myself doing it so I could remember where I left off at the last session. I took notes. Here's where they went. Here's what they did. I don't even do that when we play, in the group play, because I'm too lazy. But playing, just myself in Solo Dark, I would take pretty good notes. And then I've got those there to go back and revisit. So when I am doing something like Grim's saying, I'm writing something else, I can go poach an idea from one of these. I think Flint was saying that early on. poach an idea from that solo game and insert it into something else I'm writing or working on.
Oh, that works. That works. I want to mention this product that Ben Gibson, a friend of the show, actually brought to my attention. As you know, Ben likes to tear apart people who produce things on itch.io, and he puts it on his blog, and occasionally he finds gold. And he talked to the guy who wrote Legacy of Iskald, who wrote something. His name is Brynjar Marpolson. I hope I pronounced that right. And as the story goes, his little dungeon Ben liked. So that encouraged this guy to write what I'm showing you right now. Ben liked it. I effing love this. It's called The Legacy of Iskald. It is a sandbox adventure. Okay, I'm just going to try to scroll past a bunch of stuff. It's like Icelandic themed stuff. It's got all kinds of stuff. You have like this point crawl system with like an exploration rule set that's based on the number of watches. Hello, the second watch. I'm loving it. And your players kind of are assigned tasks during these watches. It's very similar to the kind of thing that happens in Free League's Forbidden Lands. It's brilliant. So when you have a watch, you have to you can like do certain things, and you have a list of things to choose from. You make rolls, and there things happen. He gives faction overviews for this hex crawl, point crawl. And then he has this ticking clock mechanic, which I betcha he got from Evil Hat with Blades Against the Dark. He's got this ticking clock mechanic, and then you roll to see what the factions do. Like, I had an entire blog post about this using hex flowers to do it. But this is brilliant. I absolutely love it. Whatever, dude. You love it. You love it. You know you love it. Here's the wilderness actions, blah, blah, blah. Travel conditions, yada, yada, yada. Weather difficulty. I love that weather plays an effect on everything. He gives you a calendar. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, here's another thing that jumped out at me. So he's got special carousing rules for like Norse, stuff. But then he has burials. So instead of carousing, he does something like what Adventure Conquer King system does and allows you to do like a special burial for your fallen character. And that completely mimics what Kelsey designed for the carousing. What's interesting is if your dead character rolls appropriately and makes it into the afterlife, Valhalla, whatever XP the players get for the surviving characters get for participating in this burial, your replacement character gets that XP. So the more money that they spend for your tomb and your burial, the better chance you have at starting off with a new character with XP. But here's the interesting thing too. There's a time associated with it. So you have to have the adventuring company standing watch over your grave. I effing love this. I love it. It's fantastic. It goes straight to world building. The rest of this 100-page zine has dungeons, factions, all kinds of stuff that your characters can do. If you're running Midnight Sun, I think that's Curse Scroll number 3. Mm-hmm. You could totally insert this as an extension. You totally could. So this is my next recommendation. You can find it on itch.io.
It's very cool. That's cool.
It's about 11 $11.
Did I hear you say about the burials that you like the idea that the other characters have to stand guard and watch and stand there?
Yes,
it
because
like an honor thing or something over the dead.
Yeah, it's an honor thing.
So
but
just last week, as I remember, your Reagan guy hauled ass after Gary's character and my character and Grant's character were all killed, and you left the scene of the crime in about 2
and
seconds.
then he sold that fucking pearl and took all the money and the XP, and I will never forgive him.
I took the pearl.
If he thinks I will not seek revenge upon him,
that wasn't Ragon. You're confused.
I'm confusing acts, but I think you ran away with all of your minions in both of those games.
They weren't minions; they were zombies.
Every time, let me tell you this, and not only that. Sometimes, I don't know what it is. He just thinks I'm going to agree with him without talking. We'll be playing a game together, and he just decides, you know what, we're going to go out in a blaze of glory. But he never tells me. So I'm playing the game as if maybe I might live. Maybe I might use this character a little bit more. And then Matt like shuts the door and presses the red button. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate it. Anyway.
I just want to say, I make your lives interesting.
Is it my turn yet? Can
Yeah,
it fucking be my turn?
Anyway, Legacy of Iskald, itch.io. Go check it out. You will not be disappointed. It's $11. It's totally worth it. Just a PDF. It's totally worth it. I'm going to be doing a full-throated review on my blog because it's great.
Thank you. Yeah, I wrote that down. That looks awesome.
So I'm going to take my turn now. I'm going to put a link for my next one in here. So this is kind of on the money, guys. The Shucked Oyster, Black Lodge Games. You know, those guys are here in Austin where I'm at, and like we don't hang. I don't know them. We were friendly when we bumped into each other at North Texas Con. We played Nuclear War. They seem to be all right. This is a great resource in so many ways. One, we have talked a lot on this show about how we don't need any more game systems. We have enough game systems. I'm fucking talking here, dude. Anyway,
I'm sorry.
I think it's brilliant what you're saying here.
We're listening.
So we have enough game systems.
Let me pull this car over.
But we talk about settings and adventures, and everybody wants to go big, and I get it. You want to do the big world and all of that. But these guys, the Shucked Oyster is about an establishment, a house of ill repute. It comes with a kabillion NPCs, which if you're ever just hard up for an NPC, go through here. You will find a really good one. This can be put into any campaign. It can be your OSE campaign, your Shadowdark campaign. I would recommend that your players have a healthy sense of humor and that perhaps they aren't too wrapped up in, oh, this might be bad for somebody, because the Shucked Oyster is definitely not for that. This is for people who like really dirty comedy and things that are funny.
12-year-old.
Let me put it this way. When you're playing a game, if you're the kind of guy that likes to have a good time, this is for you. If you're worried about somebody's feelings at the table and whether or not they're going to pick up their X card, don't get this. But if you're a real person who likes to laugh and have fun, this is for you. This is for you. It takes place in a horror house.
When
Black
Black Lodge Games was developing this, I was one of the play testers. I actually solo played it, going back to the solo thing. And if you're a solo play guy, the tables in that book are so well developed that you won't need too many prompts to really develop, your game, your solo experience. I had a blast running the Shucked Oyster as a solo game. I loved it. It's on my list of things to talk about as well. Black Lodge Games has an expansion on this. I can't remember what it's called, Bloodmore or something.
Oh yeah,
I
I
did
don't
not
know that it's directly related. I don't
well,
think I don't
it,
know that
no,
Bloodmore
it
is.
is because the vampire guy. Here he is. It's based on the vampire guy.
Oh, okay, all right, my bad. My bad.
I didn't back. I backed this because I think it's a great supplement. It's laser focused on this one thing, this one experience your players are going to have with this place called the Shucked Oyster. Bloodmore, I didn't back because I just didn't think it was a serious like setting, but I really like the Shucked Oyster, and I think if you're looking for an adventure location that has depth, you're not going to find anything else but this, because it's going to generate all kinds of stuff that goes outside of whatever
Right.
it is.
And it's not,
I love it. I absolutely
it's
love
not a city. It's not
No,
a dungeon.
exactly.
It's one location within your city,
Yeah.
or not within your city. It doesn't have to be in the city.
Yeah.
It's
A crossroads.
It could be like, what was that old Cartoon Network show with the fucking dog and the old people lived in the house out in the middle of nowhere? Anyway, never mind. But you can put it out there is what I'm trying to say. It's a really great expansion, and I didn't know it was connected to Bloodmore. I'm glad they did it. Like I say, if you're I like to have fun kind of guy, that's something you should look at.
a real person.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, that was me. And I think we are at 11 minutes and 21 seconds. So before we move on, are there any questions from chat that we have left unanswered that need to be taken care of?
Any questions about Gary's snaps or anything else he's wearing tonight?
Hold on a second.
Right.
I think
Yeah, I love my snaps. I think, does DM Cloaker one in?
I think he wants in. Hold on.
Send
a
him the
second.
link.
I will.
It's
Give me a second.
Shadowdark. He can't. He's like, no, there's too many people. I'll just watch. But he's
I know,
gotta
yeah.
talk about Shadowdark.
Motherfucker, I wanted him in. Come on in.
I
dude.
thought he was gonna be in the show. I thought he was gonna be in the show
I
this week.
offered it, but
He's
you know
like
how
that dude.
Brian is.
He's like that married guy that always wants to talk about his girlfriend.
Oh, here he is. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Well,
us
hello,
what you think about
friends.
Shadowdark. What do you like? Everything.
You know, this was hard for me to sit this one out.
Yeah,
You know,
well, I
you know.
wanted you part of this, dude.
We
But
both
you know
thought
what?
you were. I thought you were going to be here.
We get to see some great guys, some great faces, creators talking about what's drawn us to this. And by the way, this is 38 months after this game has come out. For us to be 3 years in, you know, the fire is lit. All right, I'll shotgun some stuff real quick. First off, Devoured Labyrinth. For me, I love the utility of products that third-party creators put. That's not just random tables, but give me just immediate one-pagers that I can throw in whenever my players are starting to play jazz. And it's just one of those things that newer GMs don't get enough of, these sort of resources sometimes, to bail them out. So if you haven't looked at Devoured Labyrinth, great work here. This is Sword Compass Creations. So the work was done. Whenever you need monsters, this thing is just massive. Pathfinder 1, any sort of monster that you need at a moment's notice. This bails me out of even my 5th edition games. But the work that was done here to really get, and it's Menagerie Press, which William Murakami Brundage actually has Shadowdark products that you can buy through Barnes & Noble. Crazy, right? On Amazon, you can buy Shadowdark retail from third-party creators. So what is that? That's a movement. Yes, I have to touch Blood and Neon. It's probably the sexiest Shadowdark product that my wife is all about. When are we playing this with my women group? Right now, we're in Viking Land with Midnight Sun and maybe Shadowrun at some point. But this is certainly on my women tables radar. And then finally, it's different. It's
Dark
different,
space.
and I'm telling you,
Oh.
it's really utilitarian. Dark space is for real. The way that it, again, elegantly handles some of the most cumbersome aspects. Gary, I think that you and I've kind of shared a little bit of looking at this and being able to take a completely different genre and really make it work in multiple dimensions, not just with aliens and spaceships, but all the power mechy stuff, all the different fictions that go within it. But I got some good discoveries. That legacy of Iskald, Matthew, tremendous. Like I'm bringing that into Midnight Sun. And then lastly, and then I'll shut up. I just had to come in. So this is, I've been, I would certainly say James Mishler has a lot of small little quick jolts. James Mishler is one of Kelsey's, I believe it's her original GM. Mish has got a lot of good little stuff out there if you're looking to season to taste. So you can find his stuff on drive-through. He doesn't put out, it's just like $1, $2 hits. But sometimes, back to what Flint was saying, it's just those little elements that give you something to propel your games forward. So whenever third-party creators create something that our rookie GMs can use at the table, or our veterans can go in and sideswipe, it's just good stuff. And great work, by the way, everybody, emphasizing and rotating around some good stuff. We know that Greg, we know that CFun is on point with what he's done. He's helping lead the fleet of creativity in his own way. But don't feel, if you're an independent creator watching tonight's stream, that you have to put out just a massive volume of Shadow Slop. Shadow Slop is a real thing.
Oh yeah, no, that's. I got some of it on my shelf. I bought it thinking it was going to be whatever, but man,
sorry, go ahead, Matt. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, well, you can go big or stay home, right? And I think and when we were talking about this, and I feel weird bringing this up because we've gotten to know Greg, and we like Greg. Greg's a good dude, and he's talented and smart. But he dominates the fucking space. But there's other stuff out there, and that's the thing to remember. Yes, someone might be putting out their Skyrim version of Shadowdark, but there's still room for a Warhorse.
Yeah.
There's still room for titles. There's still room for horror, Hellmarch, all this stuff. So, and that's what I love. And this is going to our buddy Dan Tesh out there. This is what I love about Shadowdark. It is the spiritual successor of BX. Kelsey has given us a bare bones system that we can build off of. So let's fucking do it. Let's do it.
I do want to emphasize also, when we're buying third-party products and getting them in print, it's an important part of not making it just transactional, but carrying it to your game store. If you're playing publicly, when I'm hosting games at my game store or I'm going to conventions, when you have these physical products in hand, which, let's be honest, it's hard for them to ever consider fighting for retail space. But what it does is it adds legitimacy to the over IP, which therefore is cyclical, and it nurtures the third-party scene. So buying physical third-party products, having them at the tables, having them in hand when you go out there into the wild is just, it's an important part of continuing to promote. Shadow League is going to give a lot of organized play incentive. It's going to be that third wave. But we want to carry products, from our friends out there whenever we're going out and playing with people to bring them into this wonderful world. We can
answer that question later, Chubby. I want to do one last thing before we leave. God damn it, Matt.
No,
I swear to God, dude.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. I fucked up.
It's all right. We'll get to that at game time. And Brian, you should be pissed. Real quick.
No, he shouldn't.
I know that we're supposed to
wrap
on
equal
up.
Level now.
I know that we're supposed to wrap up real quick, but before we go, we've all looked at a lot of this material now, whether we've looked at it before when we were getting ready for the show. If you had any advice or notes to give to new creators for Shadowdark,
That's a good
The
question.
mistakes that you see over and over again. What are the Flint? What's the first thing you would tell somebody who's going to do what's the most glaring mistake somebody can make that they could avoid? I'll go right now. I don't like your fucking don't put stuff on the background of your page where I'm supposed to be reading. It's little things. Don't do that. And the odd number goes on the right.
I don't know, man. I just don't complicate it. I mean, simple things, one page, dungeons. I mean, just the way Kelsey designed hers. I mean, it's not super complicated. I think just don't try to overdo it, right? I mean, whether you're writing it or running it, let the game play out. Don't try to complicate it. Don't try to create an experience. In other words, don't try to create, whatever it is you're maybe let the game do that. Let it play out that way. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to create a thing. Let it just breathe on its own.
Gotcha. Erudite, what would you say is something that a pitfall that a new Shadowdark creator should try to avoid?
I think a lot of people get really excited to write something, and Brian mentioned, all the slop out there, and there is a lot of slop stuff. I've written stuff at times that feels lazy, and I'm like, I've seen this 100 times, and I try to push myself. I would say if you don't have really something new to say, or a new, don't rewrite the same old stuff. The Wizard Tower, the cult this, the whatever. Not that those ideas are necessarily bad, but if you write them the same way we've seen 100 times, and you just regurgitate it, find something new. Find an inspiration from something else other than the same stuff you're seeing in other games. Look outside of gaming for an inspiration. I dig history. I do history. You might like, poetry or film or whatever it is. Go to the museum, look at other stuff, and then find something that gets your mind flowing, and then find something new and innovative that you haven't seen before. We will all thank you for it. Like
lightning round. Brian, DM Cloaker, having looked at third-party things, what would you advise new artists to avoid or do? What's your real quick? Don't do this.
This sounds counterproductive to the very nature of some of the things I latch on, but I think the glut of random tables, at some point, it's important to kind of close that spigot. When we're talking about overlay on a chassis, like what Shadowdark gives us, this wonderful sleek machine, it's like Knight Rider from 1984. Like put stuff on it that's gonna give some new texture and depth. Random tables, yeah, we can find those out there, and there are individual creators that have done a phenomenal job of giving us brain fuel. But bring something that's an overlay that really connects, not just mechanically, but thematically. I will also put forth a quick Chubby challenge. Greg, C-Fun, in stream, I would encourage and would love to see you type in 2 or 3 third-party products that you think are gold. As a guy who's out there in the scene and probably vets the competition, that's not your own. That's not your own. What would you throw in chat? I know he doesn't have to, but think about that.
Motherfucker's walking in North Texas Con in like a fucking fur coat.
Gold.
He don't give a shit. He's all like, ooh,
he is, but
funny. Fuck it.
Flint and Aerodite did a great job. Flint and Aerodite did a great job of looking at some of these other things on the periphery that also inspired them creatively, and that's what good competition does.
And Grim says, by the way, Grim Games makes a point too that I think I was trying to say is I'd say just keep creating and create the things that you want to use, then just let it flow naturally. In other words, titles were important to me. It's not important. It's such a niche kind of thing.
Yeah.
So what? That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if I sell 1 million, that's what I want to do. So write what's good for you, what you're passionate about.
I was gonna actually say something very similar because
it's your turn, Matt.
Thanks, Garrett.
No worries.
I'm glad Did I mention
I'm
my
keeping
name's
it
on?
together tonight, dude. I'm keeping it
Boys,
together.
You've elevated. You've gained a level.
you.
You've been reading Flint's work. You've
Yes.
gained a few titles. No, no.
Me on
I
the
was.
valley.
I actually agree with that. And I think that's actually the more important thing. Like, I was like on a conversation with someone on social media about something tangential to all this. And they were all like, "Oh, should I blah 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 do this? Should I do that? Do whatever?" And I'm just like, "Bro, like you're going to get people who disagree with you. There's going to be people who dislike what you create. If you are trying to appease everybody, you're just going to create something you fucking hate and are not proud of. So just fucking do the thing that you want to do. If it's a list of titles for Shadowdark, if it's a fucking 50-page Warhorse thing, which I still, both are fucking awesome. I mean, just do the thing and you will find an audience if you are confident and happy with what you're doing. I don't know if people want, horror for Shadowdark, but you know what? That's what I like.
Yeah.
That's what I want. And that's what I'm going to give you. That's what the Living Darkness is all about. So, it's not just do what you love, man. It's about conviction. It's like, this is what I believe Shadowdark can do. This is what I believe BX can do. This is what I believe Axe can do. And I'm going to publish it.
Yeah, that's the difference between inspiration and passion. It's very well put, Matt.
Thank you.
Yeah, Thraxus just said in the thread that, he's really into gnomes, so he wrote his zine all about gnomes. Great.
You will never be on my stream. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I got nothing against them. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. That's an anti-gnome joke.
No.
Can it be my turn?
Yeah,
Did
go ahead.
Finish
Go
that,
ahead.
Matt?
No,
All
I'm
right.
done. Go ahead, Gary.
This is what I'm going to say, and it's a little bit opposite to what Matt said, and it's going to sound like a real fucking bummer.
Money.
Really?
But here we go. This is what I'm going to tell you guys. I'm going to tell you to look at your work next to people who are doing the same thing and selling a lot. I'm going to tell you that when you really evaluate what you have done, if you're being honest with yourself, does it measure up? Now, I'm not saying it's got to be great or that it's got to be the best. I'm not saying it has to look exactly like a thing. Although one of the great things about doing third party for Shadowdark is that the blueprint is laid out for you as far as layout and design goes. You're taken care of. You don't got to hire anybody. You already know what it is. So look at your work. Look at your numbers. If you've got a fucking +6 in your book, really? Do you really need a plus? You know what I mean? And then just look at it from far away. Look at it from up close. Compare it to what's selling. And really be honest with yourself. Is this as good as it can be? Right? There is a lot of stuff that I would say like, yeah, man, I see it and I want to tell people to keep working on it. Right? It's not that your ideas are bad. It's not that it's, who fucking knows, right? But you're so excited by this thing that seems to be complete.
Oh no, yeah, no.
But you haven't polished it. You know what I mean? You haven't polished it. You haven't play tested it.
That's a very important element.
That's a big thing. There's also some other things that people do that show me that like you're not. What it says to me is that you're new and you don't really know what's going on. And I'm going to tell you one of them right now. If you're using a parchment background and you have a fucking shadow dragon on the back of that, and you're using some sort of special English font, like I'm not reading your shit. Bro. I don't care how brilliant you are. I'm not reading it. It's too busy. All right. It's that simple. Let's be real. If your cover, if you, here's the other thing. A lot of people want to use AI. I get it. You want to get your shit done. You want to use the AI. You don't have any.
Oh
money.
no,
I
are we
understand.
doing this?
Here we fucking
But if
go.
you're gonna
All
bathe
right. I was
it,
with you up
here's the
until this
thing.
point.
Hold on.
Go ahead. Continue.
Hold on. I'm saying
No, I know.
use it
We're
tastefully.
We're past the 2-hour mark.
Use
but
it
Gary, please
tastefully.
continue.
Just tastefully is all I'm saying. Don't bathe your work in AI. Use it tastefully.
Yes.
Right? You
Okay, that
want
was
people
almost
to look at
reasonable.
your stuff.
Yeah.
You don't want somebody to open it and go, "Oh fuck."
No, that's all.
And there you go.
I know what he's talking about, and I don't want to name names. I
Sure.
agree in that particular context. I'll just say that.
That freshman effect, though, Gary, you're so spot on. It's very
Yeah.
astute
Well,
observation.
it's
They're excited
it
to be there.
happens
They don't
to
even know where their
everybody.
locker is. Yeah.
Well,
It
I think
happens to
it's good. I think it's good advice to anybody who wants to create is to look at the people that you want to emulate and figure out how they do what they do and emulate it. And eventually,
ramble at all,
as you
Dan.
learn,
The dick. I was
Yeah, these
very
guys.
straightforward about what I was saying, Dan. Not once did I ramble. Not once.
No. Anyway, my
The
point
fuck
is
outta
what I'm
here.
trying to say. My point.
I loved your takes, Gary. I
Hey,
thought
by
they
the
were
way,
sharp.
we're gonna have memberships in about a month. Why don't you sign up? Anyway, $10. Sorry.
Point I'm trying to make is I think looking at what other people are doing is a very smart thing. Yeah. Okay. I'm fucking drunk. 2. See, look at that. A2. I'm batting 1,000 here, folks. We are at past the 2-hour mark.
Hey, I have a question. Quick
Oh
question.
shit, we're gonna keep
I'm here
going.
for it.
Matt and Gary, are y'all going to play in Clover's Shadowdark game at North Texas? I think
I'm
Chubby.
not
I-
signed up for it.
I think we're playing.
I don't think I signed up
Friday
for that
morning.
because I've gamed
Dan.
with Brian before. But I thought we were gonna do like something on Saturday night, like impromptu. Like, you know what
I
I
had
mean?
a cancellation. One of my guys that's hosting, he had a situation with his wife, so my dance card's a little open. Yeah, and I'm now at a 75% probability. So right now, so there's still a little touch and go.
You'll be there.
But I feel I'm going to be there. I'm
You're
looking
gonna
forward
be
to
there.
it. It'll be an
Yeah.
honor. It'll be an honor to to facilitate a session for you guys. So
All right.
I have no plans. Only signed up for one game, so
I
I'll
signed
just
up
be
for
looking for empty chairs and I'll sit down.
I had.
are you going to bring your guitar, Gary? No. You're
I'm
not
actually
gonna get
I'm forbidden.
You're forbidden. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
He'd be like the guy in Animal House playing his guitar on the stairs, you know.
One. I'll tell you, you don't. Here's the difference between you don't want to be the dude that shows up with a guitar to everything. You just
Right.
don't. You
No,
don't want to be
you
that
don't.
guy.
No.
You don't want to be that guy. Secondly, my girl says that my patience for humans in real life is so low that she doesn't want to spend all this money for me to go to the hotel room and just play guitar. And just ignore.
I thought she was
humanity
going
in
to spend
general.
all this money to bail you out of jail.
Oh, to the Parchment Dragon. So,
Yeah. So
All right. Okay. We are well past the extent of the watch. Great conversation.
Yeah.
Chat has been fucking awesome. We really appreciate
Great
it.
chat.
All the stuff. I mean, I tried to link everything, but if something popped out at you that we were talking about, Google it, whatever. Look
You can
for
put it in
it.
the show notes, right? All the links.
Well, that would create show notes that were like a mile
that's
long.
true.
So just you'll find them on drive-through or itch.io. So just do that. But there is a lot coming out for Shadowdark. I honestly believe Shadowdark is going to be a contender, especially if Northern Reaches does what I hope it does. So if you're planning on a long-term campaign, the stuff that we were talking about will most likely help you with that long-term Shadowdark campaign. But with that said, I think our watch is ended. Guys, Erudite, Flint, fucking Brian.
And if I said
And
anything
Brian's
to y'all
playing-
like fuck off or eat a dick or something, I meant it. I'll see y'all next week.
And we love Fox. I know you're busy working. Thank
Fox
you.
was
so much.
awesome. He was
We
awesome.
love you, man. We're
Great
gonna
guy.
do some more with you.
Fox, you're great. Guys, actually, y'all great.
Thanks,
Chat was
guys.
great tonight.
Have
Thanks,
a great
everybody.
Memorial Day weekend for those of you in
Yeah.
the States. Take care.
We're like the
everybody.
Brady Bunch. Here's a story.
No, we're not. No. Okay.
Outro.
Yeah, no, we're going. We're out.
All right.
Outro. It is. We never do this right.
That's part of our charm.
I guess. Yeah.